Welcome to another episode of AI Talks with Chris and Nita. Data lineage. The easiest way to think about it is like the ancestry or the biography of your data. It is the full, unabridged story of where your data started, every single change that happened to it along the way, and where it finally ended up. It's the complete travelogue for every piece of information.
Here's the perfect analogy. You remember back in math class when your teacher would always say, "Show your work," right? It wasn't just about getting the right answer, it was about proving how you got there, step by step. Well, data lineage is the exact same thing, but for AI. It's the proof behind the prediction.
So let's break down this journey. Think about it like you're cooking a big, complex meal. First, you have the source. Those are your raw ingredients. Then you have the transformations. That's the whole cooking process, chopping, mixing, heating. And finally, you have the final use, the finished dish you serve. Data lineage is the recipe that maps out that entire process, from the grocery store all the way to the dinner plate. And here is exactly why this is so critical. An AI model is only ever as good as the data you trained it on. That's a fundamental law. If your input data is flawed or biased, your results are going to be flawed or biased. It's that classic garbage in, garbage out problem, and data lineage is really our best defense against it. The difference it makes is literally night and day. Without lineage, you're just stuck with a black box. You're guessing at what went wrong, trying to find hidden biases. It feels like the AI is broken. But with lineage, everything changes. You get a full map. You can trace errors right back to the source. You get transparency. And that's how you build an AI you can actually trust. Now, this isn't just some abstract technical issue for developers. The consequences are incredibly real. So let's raise the stakes a bit. Imagine an AI model being used in a hospital, where a single mistake could have a huge impact on a patient's health. So in that hospital scenario, how does data lineage help? Well, it basically becomes a diagnostic tool. Let's say a team sees the AI's predictions are off. By looking at the lineage map, they could see exactly why. The model was giving too much weight to data from one tiny, unrepresentative clinic. By tracing the data's origin, they find the source of the bias, they correct it, and they fix the model before it can do any harm.
Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why. But does this stuff actually work out there in the real world? Oh, absolutely. Let's look at a couple of examples where data lineage was a total game changer.
Okay, so picture a tech company. They had this dashboard showing customer data, but it was super glitchy, and the numbers never added up. They were totally lost. But as soon as they mapped out the data's lineage, they said the picture suddenly became crystal clear. They pinpointed the bug, fixed it, and boom, trust in their data was restored. And its impact goes way beyond just corporate dashboards. Data lineage is now absolutely vital in large-scale AI research. We're talking about the foundational models that power so much of the technology we use every day. For these researchers, knowing the origin story of their data is completely non-negotiable. And the scale of this is just, wow. A huge, landmark study published in the journal Nature didn't just look at a few data sets. These researchers audited the lineage of more than 1,800 different text data sets used to train AI. That's just how seriously the scientific community is taking this issue. And what did they find? Their conclusion was a crystal clear warning. Poor data lineage is a direct cause of unintended biases and ultimately lower quality AI models. It just confirms what we've been saying. You can't build trustworthy AI on a foundation of mystery data. It just doesn't work. Okay, so we've looked at the theory, the high-stakes hospital example, and the real-world proof. What is the one thing you need to remember from all of this? Let's boil it all down to the big takeaway. It really all comes down to this. At its heart, data lineage is just about showing your work. It gives you that complete map of your data's journey, and that map is what creates transparency and builds trust. It is our absolute best tool for hunting down errors and fighting hidden bias. And most importantly, it's what finally turns that mysterious black box into something we can actually open up and understand.
And that really leaves us with one final crucial question. As AI gets woven more and more into our lives, we have to ask ourselves, if we don't know the story of our data, can we ever truly trust the story our AI is telling us?